Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabby and today I'm going to be doing one of the videos that gets requested from me the most often, and that is another romance recommendations video. I actually haven't made one of these since September last year, and I think the main reason for that is because I haven't really been reading as much romance this year, I think, for some reason. I finally feel like I've read enough romance that I have enough to do another full recommendation video like this. I also just wanted to mention that in the past I've always done these as new adult romance recommendations, but this time I'm just doing romance recommendations because, to be honest, like every time I've done those videos in the past, I feel like it's getting more and more like expansive on the whole like new adult age range. Like I've just been recommending like any romances, so I just wanted to be all inclusive and just say this is just romance recommendations. And yeah, so these are just going to be recommendations of my favorite romances that I've read since last September. Alright, so the first one I want to recommend to you is probably my favorite romance that I've read since last September, and that is The Unfunny Winner by Christina Lauren. I'm sure you've heard me talk about this book like a million freaking times already, but I haven't actually like recommended it officially in a romance recommendations video, so I just like had to include it first. This one's possibly my new favorite Christina Lauren, which is crazy because like they're one of my favorite authors and I just really love and adore almost all of their books, but this one is probably my favorite. And it follows this girl named Olive who has this twin sister Amy, and her sister Amy is getting married, and on her wedding day the entire family gets food poisoning at the wedding except for Olive and the groom's brother Ethan. And Olive and Ethan can't stand each other. They have this really great like hate to love bantery, like they don't like each other vibes. And then they get offered to go on their siblings' honeymoon because everybody else got sick, including the bride and the groom, and they can't go on their honeymoon. So like they have to take the honeymoon for them or it'll just be a waste. So we get this amazing like hate to love bantery trip to Hawaii on this honeymoon, and they have to pretend to be a married couple because they won the honeymoon in like a sweepstakes, so it has to be them. So they have to like pretend to be their siblings. And it's just the best, okay? It's the best. I kind of want to reread this before the end of the year, like not gonna lie, it's just so good. And this one just gave me all the like warm and fuzzy feelings, and I just absolutely loved it. It's probably my favorite romance that I read in 2019, so yeah. My second favorite romance that I've been reading recently is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, and again, I'm sure you've heard me talk about this one a million times as well, but I'm gonna talk about it again because it's the best. It's so cute. And this one's actually a male-male romance, and this one follows the first son of the female president of the United States, Alex, and then it follows his love interest, Henry, who is a prince. Honestly, these two just give me so much life. Like, this book is just so cute, and this one definitely starts off with these like hate to love vibes as well, which is just like my favorite apparently. And this book kind of also touches on like the 2016 election and how things could have been different, and it really like makes me cry, and it's just beautiful. Like, not only is the romance good in this, but the message of it is also so good. The next one I want to recommend is another one of my favorite male-male romances this year, and that is Top Secret by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. This one is another male-male romance that follows these two guys who are actually both running for the president of their frat house. And I know that makes it sound like it's not going to be good, but I swear, oh my god, this book is so great. This book has that trope that I love, that they start anonymously talking to each other without knowing who the other person is, and then they've already caught feelings by the time they realize who the other person is, and it's almost like too late because they're kind of like enemies in real life, obviously, because they're like competing to be president of their frat house. And then they're talking on this like dating app or whatever, and they don't realize that they're talking to each other, and it's just great. It's so good, and these characters are so cute, and like honestly the character Luke is like one of my favorite new characters. Like, he's just so soft. One of my most recent reads on this list that I just finished actually a couple days ago is The Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. And this one, I don't know why it was taking me so long to read this, because I got an arc of this like in the summer, I want to say, and I didn't read it until last month. This one is, I think the main reason why I didn't think I would like this one is because it's like a second chance romance, and I usually really don't like second chance romances, but this one was kind of different because it follows this guy named Gavin who is a Major League Baseball player, and him and his wife are kind of like on the brink of divorce. Like, their marriage is just not going well. He decides to join this bromance book club where all of these like top alpha men in Nashville all read romance novels together in order to like understand their wives better and understand like the women in their lives better. And it's just so cute. And so this book is about how Gavin joins this bromance book club in order to like try to win his wife back. Oh my god, it's so good. I think because the romance in this book feels so forbidden, you know, because she's like kind of like wanting a divorce, and she just doesn't really want him around anymore, and so he's constantly having to like fight for them to be together still, but it's like in such a cute and soft way. And like Gavin is just one of my favorite like male love interest type of characters, because he can be so like hot-headed sometimes and really like alpha type and like fighting for what he wants, but then he also is like so sweet and so sensitive, and like he has a stutter and he's just so soft, you know? So I absolutely love this book. Like it's one of my favorite romances of the year, and I adore it so much. The next one I have for you is going to be another one of my most recent reads, and that is Eleanor and Gray by Brittany C. Cherry. I'm sure you've seen Brittany C. Cherry recommended a lot on these romance recommendations videos, because I absolutely love Brittany C. Cherry's writing. She's like the best at writing the really like sad, moving, tragic, emotional romance stories, you know? Like I just love this one so much. I cried a whole lot. But this one actually does another one of the things that I don't usually like in romances, and that is when the first like 100 pages or so of this book is when they're teenagers like meeting for the first time, and then we don't get to the adult stuff until like after the first 100 pages, and I usually despise that in books. Like I usually can't stand it. But for this book, it was actually really beautiful, because like when they met when they were teenagers, they were going through something that was so tragic, and so like when they met each other, they really like depended on each other to get through their tragedies. And then when they meet later on in life again, they're also both going through some tragic experiences. So it's like, it's interesting that they continue to meet in life when they're going through something really heavy, and they can just depend on each other to get through those things. I don't know, it's just really beautiful. And not only is the romance great in this, but I feel like the main character's relationship with her parents in this book is just very interesting and very moving and beautiful. And there's just a whole lot that I love about this book, and I can't recommend it enough. I think it's great. All right, the next one that I want to recommend to you is a female romance, and that is 30 Dates in 30 Days by Elle Spencer. This is another one that I actually just read in November, and this one is so cute and fluffy and just soft. So if you're looking for something that'll just put a smile on your face, like, this would be it. This one is about this girl named Veronica, and she's trying to make partner at her law firm that she works at in New York City. So this book takes place almost all in Manhattan, which just makes it even better in my opinion. And then she gets signed onto this program that's gonna allow her to do 30 dates within 30 days, and it's gonna be on this like lesbian dating app. She takes the girls to this bar every night at this restaurant, and the bartender at the bar's name is Rachel, and she's actually like her love interest of this book. And Rachel is a bartender at night, and then she's a wedding photographer by day. Oh my gosh, dude, these two have the cutest chemistry. Like they kind of have this like hate to love thing going on too, because like they just are kind of like snarky with each other, you know, in the beginning, and it just takes a long time for anything to happen between them, and it's just so cute. Like I just loved it so much. I just shipped them so hard, and this was just such a cute romance. Next one I have is going to be another female romance, but this one's actually a young adult romance, and that is Tell Me How You Really Feel. This one is about these two girls who are going to the same high school in Los Angeles. Oh, this one actually has a girl named Rachel too, I just realized. Interesting. But this one's actually kind of like a hate to love romance as well, which, you know, you can just tell that I really have a thing for the hate to love romance, I guess. But they start this book as enemies because of something that happened on the first day of school. And then this book follows this girl who wants to be a film director, and her mom kind of like works in the movie industry. And so she's filming this like movie for her class, and she has to get the other girl to be the lead in the movie because like that's the girl that the teacher wants for the movie. The other girl like agrees to be in the movie for her, and so it's kind of about how they're slowly like turning into friends. It's just really cute. Like I loved their banter in this book. They were so funny. Like I was cracking up while I read this book, and they're just so adorable to read about. And I loved the scenery of like Los Angeles, and I feel like this book describes Los Angeles in a very real way. Like honestly, like I felt like right back at home reading this, but I just loved it a whole lot, and I think it's super cute and super soft. Another romance that I want to recommend that actually comes out really soon is Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. And this one is a romance, and it's also kind of just like a great family story in my opinion, because there are two romances happening in this book, because this book really centers on this mother and daughter relationship. And so we do get a romance going on in the daughter's life as well as the mother's life, so you're kind of like reading about both. But it's also just a very gorgeous story about this mother and daughter relationship, and I feel like that's like the main focus of this book. But it definitely also involves a lot of romance because, you know, it's Colleen Hoover, so yeah. This book was also really great. This one was really sad. It freaking made me cry again, and it was full of like twists and turns and surprises, which I really liked. But I definitely preferred the mom's chapters as opposed to the daughter's chapters. All right, and then the last like romance book that I wanted to recommend to you is Modern Love by Daniel Jones. And I know this isn't like your conventional romance story really, but this book is actually a nonfiction book, and it's a collection of really short stories that are all true stories about these people's love lives in New York City. I guess all of these were taken from a podcast that was really successful, and now it's even been turned into an Amazon Prime show called Modern Love. And it's just really cool. Like, I really love the concept of this and the idea of this, as well as like the stories in this. Like, this is probably one of my favorite like nonfiction kind of books that I've read, because it's so inspiring to me that these are all like true stories about romance, and they're not all about like romantic love. Like, there's definitely some that are about like parent love and like even friendship love and just like all the different kinds of love, like the whole spectrum of love. And some of these stories worked really well for me, some of them didn't, but like most of them I had a really great time reading. And I just think something like this is so cool, especially like if you're a fan of romance. It's just really interesting to read about the real romantic lives of like other people out there, you know. It's just fascinating. I think my favorite short story in this whole thing is the one that's called The Race Grows Sweeter Near Its Final Lap. Is so soft. But again, a lot of these stories are just really cool, and it's all divided into like different sections of like people that are like going on their first dates, and then it's like divided into sections like I Think I Love You, holding on through the curves, like the hard times through a relationship, and then like family matters at the end. So like there's one called First I Met My Children, Then My Girlfriend, They're Related. And it's like really like interesting stories about their love lives and stuff. Like, I don't know, it's just so cool. So like if you like romance, like maybe consider checking this one out. I don't know. Those are all the romance recommendations that I have for you today. I'm sorry it's not like, I feel like that wasn't as many as I usually do, but again, like I just haven't been reading as much romance. I mean, I have read a lot of romance this year that I was super disappointed by, so maybe like I have been reading a lot of romance this year, but there hasn't been as many things that I've liked. I don't know. Also, sorry if you've heard any like weird noises in the background, but there's like this crazy windstorm going on outside right now, and I don't like it. I'm not a fan of the wind. Let me know your thoughts on any of these books, if you've read any of these books, and of course if you have any other romance recommendations for me, then please leave them down below. And thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye.